National Trail Raceway didn't rumble. It screamed. Thousands of raw horsepower. One last-minute relocated race. And a rival so dominant he'd made the entire field look like traffic cones. Then the smoke cleared. The win light flashed in Hebron, Ohio. National Trail Raceway embraced the event with both arms. Fans filled the stands in numbers that nobody had predicted, and the energy they brought with them created something almost physical in those staging lanes, a wall of noise and nitro and raw expectation. Pritchett arrived in Hebron knowing he'd have to throw out old data, start fresh on an unfamiliar surface, and find speed where none had been proven before. That's a tall order on any weekend. This one was taller than most. From the very first qualifying session, the tone was set, and Gary Pritchett wasn't the one setting it. Lee Calloway put down a thunderous 3.055-second pass at over 282 miles per hour, and just like that, the entire Top Fuel paddock had a number to chase. It was the kind of run that changes the atmosphere in the pits, the kind that makes crews go quiet and start doing math they don't like the answer to. Pritchett watched the scoreboard and felt the weight of it. His dragster had the power, nobody doubted that, but matching Calloway's finesse was a different conversation altogether. He went back to his crew and got to work. Not panicking, not pressing, just grinding through the qualifying sessions run by run, closing the gap in pieces. He knew Sunday was what mattered. When most people were winding down Saturday evening, Gary Pritchett's crew was just getting started. In Top Fuel, the margin between a record-breaking pass and a catastrophic failure is measured in thousandths of an inch, and no detail is too small to examine when an Ironman trophy is sitting on the table. The team tore into the car and performed a full mechanical audit, hunting for every last piece of hidden horsepower the Hebron concrete might reward. The clutch management system had been erratic through the early sessions, a product of the track absorbing heat in ways that Alabama simply wouldn't have replicated. They recalibrated everything, rethought their approach to the throttle hit, and rebuilt their strategy from the ground up. It wasn't glamorous work. It was the kind of work that wins championships and never makes the highlight reel. Pritchett understood that better than anyone. Elimination Sunday came in crisp and electric. The sellout crowd poured back into National Trail Raceway like they hadn't left, and the energy hit the staging lanes like a second engine. Gary Pritchett sat in his cockpit before the rounds began, eyes closed, running through every reaction time, every shift point, every scenario the day might throw at him. He'd been here before. He knew what it cost to be ready. The mood in his camp was different from the frantic scramble visible in other parts of the paddock. Quiet. Focused. Confident without being loud about it. The relocation had already done part of the work for them, shaking loose the teams that couldn't hold together under the pressure of an uprooted weekend. Pritchett wasn't just racing the field anymore. He was racing the moment. And he was built for it. The opening elimination rounds were brutal for plenty of people, the track had a way of punishing anyone who overcorrected, and tire smoke was ending days faster than any opponent could. Pritchett moved through his side of the ladder with a steadiness that started turning heads up in the control tower. He wasn't just getting win lights. He was earning them the hard way, clean run after clean run, while the world roared around him at 280 miles per hour. His dragster stayed remarkably consistent when others were suffering mechanical betrayals and launching into the sand. The semi-final matchup brought out the full weight of what Pritchett had been building all weekend, and when those two dragsters pulled into the beams, the nitro in the air was thick enough to taste. Gary got the start he needed, a crucial advantage off the line that he never once gave back, and powered through to a decisive, commanding victory. It wasn't just a ticket to the final round. It was a statement. His qualifying times hadn't led the sheet, but his race day execution was something that no time slip could fully measure. He had lane choice now, and more than that, he had momentum, the kind that rattles the guy in the other lane before the Christmas tree even lights up. One run stood between Gary Pritchett and the Ironman. One run to make the whole weekend worth it. The final round settled over National Trail Raceway as the Ohio sun dipped toward the horizon, throwing long shadows across the track and turning everything golden and quiet for just a moment before the engines shattered it all apart. Two top fuelers. One trophy. The crowd that had shown up all weekend to witness something great was finally about to get what they came for. When the green light flashed, Pritchett's dragster hooked perfectly, the kind of launch that tells you in the first 60 feet that it's going to be a good run. He drove it straight and clean all the way to the finish line, where the win light confirmed what his crew had spent all of Saturday night building toward. Top Fuel title. $50,000 winner's purse. Ironman trophy. Gary Pritchett had turned every bit of Saturday's struggle into Sunday's glory. When Gary climbed out of the car, the exhaustion on his face was real, but so was everything else. The joy. The relief. The pride of a man who had carried the weight of a complicated weekend and come out the other side holding the biggest prize on the property. He didn't try to make it sound simple. He knew it hadn't been. Winning this Ironman in Hebron, after everything this community went through to get this race off the ground, that's something I'll never forget, he told the media gathered around the winner's circle. Then he turned the spotlight immediately to his crew, crediting their Saturday night work as the real reason the trophy was in his hands. That's the thing about Pritchett, the win was his, but he never once acted like it belonged to him alone. The $1 million hunt is real, and he is positioned right at the front of it. The Nitro world is watching. The championship is wide open. And Gary Pritchett, fresh off the biggest win of his 2026 season, is ready to show them all exactly what happens when preparation finally meets its moment.